good recommendation for, well, whenever someone asks me about that sort of like, oh, what to recommend, what should I read, or I would say just variety, right? Like you don't want to pick any one thing. There's no one thing that's gonna like boost your English ability to the point that you want. You need to get a variety of stuff, right? You gotta read fiction, non-fiction, science fiction, horror, fantasy.
That's good. Have you read The Sapiens, The Brief History of Mankind?
What's that?
Sapiens, Homo sapiens.
What about *Sapien*?
Yuval Noah Harari. Harari, Israeli gay activist.
Having difficulty understanding you there. I don't think we have a very good audio connection. Uh-oh, looks like someone else is also trying to join the call. I'm gonna drop you guys and let them in really quick. Thanks for calling in, though. I don't know how to drop anymore. I used to be able to. I just don't know how to. I don't know how to do it. Let's accept this new call.
Why are you dropping us?
Because I'm trying to answer a call for someone else, but I don't know how to.
That guy can wait. We have many questions to ask you. How can you leave us like this?
Apparently I can't. I can't figure out how to do it.
Hello, what's your name, black person? I mean, black suit.
Okay, let me get this off of here.
Don't say that's a bit.
Here we are. No, that's not it either. How do I get you? I used to be able to do this.
How are you, bro? How are you, bro? I'm good, sir.
Do you have any English questions for us? And for some reason I can't get these other guys off.
I'm from Pakistan. Oh.
Okay, let's just get in the video then. Okay, couldn't figure out how to hang up on people anymore. That's nice. No, I didn't, but I've just restarted the stream. Anyway, I don't know. I guess maybe you can't hang up on people anymore. I'm not sure. I don't know how to do it. I did know, but now I don't. I don't know. I don't know why. That's funny. Well, kind of. Not really funny, actually. Funny in a bad way. Anywho. Okay, let's get back into ChatGPT. Hello. Hello. Thanks for coming again. Yeah, sorry, everybody. I had to end the call because I couldn't figure out how to hang up on somebody. Yeah, kind of a problem. Kind of a big, huge problem. Huh? That doesn't look like it does anything.
So you go to the dot, and then you can hang up.
I didn't see that option just now.
Click on that, and you will see.
Can you call? You call?
I don't want to.
Well, I just want to practice how to hang up. Can you call? Can you call now? Right now? Call?
You call yourself.
I don't know how. Can you? Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Hey there, everybody. Yeah. Anyway, now let's get back into what we're actually working on. Sorry. Yeah, I couldn't figure out how to end a call, and I don't know. Maybe if someone, i.e., Carrie, wants to help me figure that out, you can call right now, and then I can practice hanging up because. Apparently it's different now. Don't know why. Yeah, Instagram just kind of changes stuff right, with very, very, very little warning or meaning or useful function. Anyway. Okay, let me... Okay, now. Anyway, so yeah, we're doing our live stream, of course, as you can clearly tell. And, it's a Q&A. So if you want to ask some questions, that would be great. But, if we're not going to ask any questions, that's also fine. We're going to talk a little bit about On the ad, it said we were going to go over food language some more today, but since I was just sick this week, I figured maybe it would be a good time to talk about some illness language. All right. Having some illness language would be fun. I've actually already done one video about this before. All right, and in my one single video on this topic, I went over the idiomatic phrase, sick as a dog. Or the full version would be, as sick as a dog. All right, that uses the as adjective as structure, the comparative structure. As sick as a dog. So, yeah, I had the flu. So I'd say, yeah, I was as sick as a dog this last week, especially on Wednesday. Wednesday was really rough. Angelina ID. Here's Abraham again. Angelina says HLO, which I believe is supposed to be hello. All right, that's I see this abbreviation a lot. Hello. Just post my own there. La fleur. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, La fleur, hello, how's it going? So, if anybody has any questions, that would be my number one top favorite, most favorite thing to see. Now, as sick as a dog. So, using it as in a sentence example, let's do one here, right? I had the flu this week, and I was as sick as a dog. There we go. And I was as sick as a dog. Here we go. So now someone else wants to join the video. Well, I guess I can't allow you to join the video because no one's going to help me test how to hang up. All right, I was asking someone to help me test how to hang up, but they're not going to do it. All right, so wish you a very happy birthday, or wishing you a very happy birthday, or both are correct. Well, neither of those is correct. All right, because both of them are missing a subject. I wish you a happy birthday, or I am wishing you a happy birthday. All right, so neither one of those is correct because you do need a subject. Okay. Or you could just say it as an exclamation. You could just say happy birthday. Right? If you just do an exclamation like this, it's a lot easier. Right? You don't have to make a complex sentence out of it. I wish you a happy birthday. I am wishing you a happy birthday. It's not necessary. Don't worry about that. All right, I'm gonna try to let Ibrahim in here again, but if I can't hang up, then I don't know what to do. Yeah, I don't know what to do about that other than just shutting down the entire live stream again. I was asking someone to help me test it, but they didn't. So let's see here. Ibrahim and Fahad, you got a question for us?
Yes, sir. Sir, what is the past tense? Explain to me, sir.
What's that now?
What is the past tense? I don't know how to use past tense.
You don't know how to use past tense? I don't believe it. Ibrahim, your language skills sound pretty good. Ibrahim, what do you think? How would you explain the past tense?
No. Fuck.
How would you explain the past tense, Ibrahim?
Past tense happened in the past.
Yeah, sure. It's something that happened in the past, right? That's easy.
There is different past tenses, sir.
Yeah, sure there are. How many different past tenses are there?
Past continuous.
Past continuous.
The past perfect, past perfect, and past imperfect.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, kind of, right? Yeah, kind of. So there's the past continuous, the past simple, the past perfect simple, the past perfect continuous. right? The past perfect is not one tense, right? There are several perfect tenses.
I'm a bit confused about something. So, what is the difference between past perfect and past simple? When do I use both?
Okay.
Why would I use past
Why would you
perfect?
use
Why
either
not
one, right? Yeah.
past?
Well, again, hey there, Universal Prince. We have to keep in mind that quote unquote past perfect. If you want to see what I'm writing, you can always watch on YouTube. Okay, so you can see my notes on YouTube. Past perfect does not exist. There's no such thing as past perfect. There's past perfect simple and past perfect continuous, okay? So those are two different tenses. All right? So let's keep that in mind. So what is the difference between the past simple and the past perfect simple? All right? That's a very common question. All right?
Yeah, I got it.
All right. So like I went to the market. I had gone to the market. 90% of the time, not, do you need some? Sorry, never mind. Anyway, 90% of the time, there is basically no difference between those two things. Okay? So the past perfect simple versus the past simple, very, very often they're exactly the same. All right? They don't really have a very big difference at all. All right? So when we want to emphasize the effect of something that happened in the past on the present, then we'll use the past perfect simple. Right? I went to work. I had gone to work. All right, so those are basically the same, but in the past perfect simple, I'll probably add more information talking about the effect of going, right? I went to work. I had gone to work, so I was unhappy, right? So going to work made me unhappy, right? It's having an effect of some kind, right? Now we could still accomplish the same thing in past simple. I went to work, so I was unhappy, right? Oh, there we go. So again, not really that different, right? So the past simple and the past perfect simple, it's really just a matter of style, right? What your preference, your style preference, right? Now, I'm gonna answer some more questions, but if you guys have another one, you can call back in, or you can just submit it as a question. There we go. Now it works. I don't know. Now let's see here. Okay, they said let me in. I have a question. Someone else said something about that birthday thing again, right? Wish you a happy birthday. Okay, happy birthday. Okay, that's fine. That looks fine. Happy birthday. Let me in. I have a question. God, it's so hard to scroll through the chat. Whenever I remember some new word, I forget it. So is there some technique by which we cannot forget new words? Well, if you're forgetting it, then you're not remembering it. I think what you mean is whenever you learn a new word, you forget it. All right. So there's actually a very interesting data about this. The remembering curve. Let's see if we can. The forgetting curve. Here we go. Ebbinghaus's forgetting curve. Let me pull this up for you really quick. Okay, I gotta accept some cookies here. Alright, la 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 la. Okay, this is not the graph I was looking for. There's a good graph explaining this. Here we go. Let me show you this graph. So this is not just for language; it's for like almost everything else too. But you see, so this is when you first learn something, right? Okay, 5 minutes later you remember it. Okay, you practice using it, la-di-da. So you see a lot the remembering, it drops off down here to 60%, right? So only about 40% of people are going to remember whatever this was after 3 days, right? But once you start hitting that drop-off point down 20% after about a day, maybe a day and a half, you review it, and then zoop, you go back up to 100%. And now your drop-off curve is shallow, more shallow, all right? So and then you wait another day or two, and you review it again, zoop. Now your curve is much more shallow. And now you can wait another 3 or 4 days, zoop, you review it again. Now your drop-off curve is much more shallow. So when this has been studied pretty extensively, right? This remembering. How do you remember things? How do you not forget things? All right, this has been studied a lot. So basically, you're forgetting things because you're not reviewing them. Either you're not reviewing them enough, or you're not reviewing them in the appropriate time period. When you review something, it's better to review it right when you're just about to forget it, right? When you're almost going to forget it. So when you first learn something, you should review that new information within a day or a day and a half. After that first review period, your next review period should be in about 2 days. After that review period, your next review period should be in about 3 or 4 days. All right? This is to help you get things locked into your long-term memory. All right? So this is now my understanding of the Ebbinghaus forgetting curve is rudimentary, right? I'm not an academic. I didn't do this study myself. But from my limited understanding, I use it all the time, right? This is a concept that is very, very useful. So when you're learning some new vocabulary, learn it, okay, practice the heck out of it, sure. Review it in a day or two. Learn it, practice the heck out of it, review it again in another 2 or 3 days. Learn it, practice the heck out of it, review it again and after another 3 or 4 days. That should help you get whatever this is into your long-term, useful, fluent memory. Okay? Let's keep going down here. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Universal says hi. He says, guys, be serious when teacher's explaining something. Well, thanks, Universal Prince. Ronnie, thanks for coming. Things they're having some fun. Sure, whatever. Don't worry about them, Prince. Yeah. At least they asked a question. That's what I really care about. All right. Then Penchal says again. Whenever I remember some new word, I forget. Yeah, I mean, okay. I guess you just copy pasted that one. Stay at hotel, or stay in hotel, or stay in the hotel. Okay. So the only one of those sentences, Angeline, that sounded okay is stay in the hotel, right? That's because hotel is a noun and it still needs an article, right? It needs an article. So you got to use your article, all right? So we could stay at or in a hotel. Both of them are fine, okay? Working on the in, at, on prepositions of place and relative location can be very frustrating, right? Very, very frustrating. Unfortunately, for certain locations like businesses, like a bank or a hotel, we could be in the bank, we could be at the bank, right? Because they're a building and they're a source or some place where we get something done, right? So in or at either one would work. It's just that we do need an article because hotel is a noun. All right, so don't forget your article. Universal Prince asks, when do we use to plus ing form? We normally use to plus base verb form of the verb, so I got that doubt. I'm very happy that you asked me that, Prince. It's a very, very good question. And because people get this wrong a lot. All right, a whole lot. How do I, come on, get in there. That's better. Yeah. So, basically speaking, in normal situations, we are never, never, never going to use to plus ing, right? I like to going to the mall, right? Or I like to cooking, all right? That does not happen. Now, sometimes we will see this, but only if it's in reference to some set phrase, especially the phrase looking forward to. Right? Very often we'll say, I'm looking forward to seeing you again, or I'm looking forward to talking with you about this. But it's not, in that phrase, we actually have a lexical chunk, looking forward to. Looking forward to. To is not actually being associated with the verb following it, right? It's not actually to plus ing form, right? I'm looking forward to seeing you, right? That we're not saying the to seeing you as the to plus ing form of the verb. The to is actually part of the phrase looking forward to, okay? So that is one time when we will very often see to plus ing verb. But that's not a normal piece of grammar. That's idiomatic language. All right, so it's not dictated by the same rules. Okay, so 99% of the time we are not going to use to plus an ing verb. All right, unless it's looking forward to plus ing verb. Okay, let me know if that actually clears it up. I see that we actually have a real question. Can you add me? I think we already did that. Yeah, we already did that. Yeah, so that was old. Okay, hello. Just waving at people. Thank you very much, sir. You explained it to me through graphs. I understood a lot. Well, good. Right, that forgetfulness curve on the graph, or the remembering curve on the graph, whatever you want to describe it as. It's a very useful tool, but it's based on averages. Most average people, you want to review any new information within about 24 to 36 hours. Some people, it might be more time. Some people, it might be less time. But the important point there is that you need to have intermittent periods of review. Very rare, but some people, they just remember stuff forever, no problem, okay, it's locked in. But even those people, they're probably, without even realizing it, they're probably reviewing it in their heads over a period of days. They kind of think about it over and over again over a period of days. They already naturally have a technique somewhat like this. All right, so these kinds of people that are very, very good at remembering things, they just have good habits like that. If there weren't these many words, there would be no need to take stress remembering them. Yeah, well, that's true. Shoot, I remember seeing some estimation of exactly how many words there are in the English language, but the number eludes me. I don't remember. It's in the thousands and something like that. Hey, Satya, thanks for coming. Angelina says, I am thinking, is it grammatically incorrect? No, I don't think so. No. But that's kind of, that's just a little fragment of something, right? That's not a complete thought usually. Well, it could be, right? So if someone's like, "Hey, Angelina, what did you say? Angelina, what should we do? Say, "Hey, I'm thinking." Yeah, that could be a full sentence. But another common phrasing is "I'm thinking that." All right, let's type that out, actually. That's a good one. That's a nice phrase. The I'm, quote unquote, I'm thinking that phrase. All right, this is a really useful phrase. It's actually quite nice. Used to express an opinion. Or sometimes a desire. All right, I'm thinking that we should go on vacation this year, right? Or I'm thinking that I don't know. I'm thinking that you could help me with growing my channel. I don't know, something like that. Right? So the I'm thinking that is also very useful language. Let me know if that's what you're talking about, okay, Angelina? I'm still kind of scrolling through the chat history here. It's kind of hard because I can't actually see it all. Universal Prince says, could you explain the difference between cut to the chase and to talk turkey? To talk turkey. You know what? I'm not sure if I've ever actually heard that. To talk turkey. You know what? I'm going to look that up. To talk turkey. To talk turkey. Yeah, talk turkey. Yeah, okay. It's an informal, it's North American idiom. I guess I just never really encountered that one. Interesting. Yeah, to talk turkey, to discuss something frankly, straightforwardly. Okay, to talk in like kind of a frank or straightforward manner. Interesting. Well, cutting to the chase also means to talk in a more straightforward and frank manner. All right, so talking turkey and cutting to the chase, I guess, are actually equivalent. All right, talk turkey. Wow. I've never heard that before. Maybe it's more common in like the Northeast or something. Where do people use that phrase? Talk turkey. Talking turkey come from? Here's an interesting article about that. Oh wow. Originating in the 1800s. American 1800s. Okay. Well, if it originated in the 1800s in the United States, then I'm thinking probably it's from the Northeast. Right? So I just haven't heard it very much. But, let's cut to the chase. Let's talk turkey. Both of them would mean to like kind of be more direct, more straightforward with your communication. So, yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I guess there isn't much difference. Yeah. Where are you from originally, sir? Oh, jeez. Me, I'm from the United States, Texas in particular. Sorry, I'm still recovering from the flu. Give me a moment. Oh, gosh. Wednesday was a rough one, let me tell you. Wednesday was rough. Wednesday and Thursday, I was asleep like most of the time. I was just sick. That was awful. Okay. Yeah, I'm from Texas, though. Yeah, thanks for asking. How about you, Angelina? Universal Prince. How far am I? Okay, yeah, I'm close to the bottom of the scroll here. That's good. Universal Prince says, could you explain the difference heard of and heard about, think of and think about? Interesting. Heard of. Have you ever heard of? Have you ever heard about? Think of, think about. Prince, that's kind of another one where I don't really think there is much of a difference. They're just kind of alternative phrasing. Let's explore this a little bit. Heard of, heard about, think of, think about. Let's write that down. Let's type it down. heard of versus heard about / think of versus think about. Have you heard of this new video game? Have you heard about this new video game? I have heard of a new book in the series. I have heard about a new book in this series. Yeah, you know, yeah, you can use those basically interchangeably. Let's think about think of, think about. Same. Yeah, same. Heard of, heard about, think of, think about. Yeah, you can use them interchangeably. Yeah, there's not really any difference. Interesting question. Why don't you play around with a few sentences there, Prince, or anybody else that's interested. All right, play around with a few sentences for me. Try them out. All right, try one sentence with heard of. Try the same sentence with heard about. Try one sentence with think of. Try the same sentence with think about. Yeah, experiment with that a little bit. Okay, send me some examples. I'll let you know how it looks. Okay. But yeah, as far as I'm not noticing any major differences, nothing distinguishable. Let's see here. Can you explain all the uses of scramble? I only know that we use scramble like scrambled eggs. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Well, scramble, actually that's kind of a, because we can use it as a verb or an adjective. All right. Let's look up the dictionary definition. So let's see here. The dictionary has a lot of different definitions of scramble. Wowee. Okay. To make one's way quickly or awkwardly, to move hurriedly or clumsily, to put something on quickly, to perform something hurriedly, to struggle to complete something in an uncontrolled or undignified manner. Yeah. So most of the meanings of scramble have kind of, most of the noun meanings at least, right? Or most of the verb meanings, sorry. They share some similar qualities, right? To do something hurried or fast, sloppy, disorganized, right? So thinking of scrambled eggs, what do we do? What is scrambling them? All right, that's when we put them in a bowl and then whip them up and just really mix them all together all fast and messy. All right, so you could scramble to do anything, really. Like you could scramble to put on your clothes, right? That means you're just trying to do it really quick but being kind of a mess about it. All right, you can scramble to prepare for work. Right, so the scramble to verb, I think that based on how I'm using it here, it sounds pretty common that we're actually going to use it in a infinitive structure, scramble plus infinitive. I scramble to get ready. I scramble to go. Scramble to start. I had to scramble to start my live stream today. I was kind of behind schedule, and then I forgot to press the start stream button on OBS, so I guess my YouTube stream is going to be a few minutes shorter than an hour. My bad, YouTube people. If anyone watches, I don't know if anyone actually watches on YouTube. They might watch the recording later, but no one ever comments. What's up with that, YouTube? You can always submit a comment, if you've got a question or if you want me to cover something, and I can comment back to you, or I can do a video about it. Whatever, I'm not going to force you. Yeah, so scramble is just going to be anything that's done hurried, quickly, or like sloppily, or in some kind of disorganized manner. There are other contexts, right? Like there's a military context to scramble fighter jets or aircraft. You scramble them. But that's to order them to take off very quickly, immediately, right? To hurry up, right? So it still has kind of that context of immediacy. How can I use fine line phrase? Okay. So I think I see what you mean. Let me scroll down here. My internet is scrambling while talking sometimes. Yeah, that could work too. Yeah, just becoming disorganized. They scrambled into the house. I have come across this sentence in a story. Exactly, yes, like coming into the house in a quick, disorganized manner. Exactly. Very good. I heard that English is easy. Okay, I mean, you know what? I say the same thing every time I hear something like this, some nonsense like that, right? Sometimes I'll hear people say, oh, I heard English is easy, or sometimes I hear people say, oh, someone said the IELTS is easy, or this part of the IELTS is easy, or the TOEFL. So let me just give you a blanket statement here. This is a big blanket statement. Usually I try to avoid these, but I think this one's pretty true. Anytime somebody tells you that English is easy, the IELTS test is easy, the TOEFL test is easy, or some part of the IELTS test, TOEFL test, or English language is easy, they either are an idiot, or they don't know what they are talking about, or they're bragging and lying, right? They're just trying to make themselves look smarter than they are, right? So we've got either they're an idiot, they're clueless, they're ignorant, or they're lying, right? Because there's not a single language out there that is easy. There are no easy languages. It doesn't exist, right? Learning a language is hard, no matter what language it is. Now, are there special super genius people out there that have an easier time than others? Yeah, sure. But, like taking a sip of coffee, that's easy. Or, I don't know, talking about the past tense, for me, that's easy. But teaching the entirety of the English language or learning any language at all, someone describing that as easy is either foolish, misinformed, or lying. Yeah. Or probably trying to sell you something. So I'm going to tell you the truth. Learning English is hard, and it's always going to be hard. Yeah. So harsh, huh? So this fine line phrase, can you give me an example of what you mean by that, Panchal? I think what you're talking about, like, because there are some other phrases that incorporate this fine line, right? Like you're walking a fine line, right? Like walking a fine line, or there's a fine line between being right and being annoying, right? Or something like that. Is that what you're talking about? All right, let me know. So I'm gonna write some of this down. All right, let me type it out here. All right, quote unquote, fine line, right, phrases. So typically, this my fine line. This is my fine line. This is my fine line. What the heck? This is my fine line? I think I see what you mean here. So, no, I don't know about that. This is my fine line. That's kind of that's a little bit weird. There might be more context there that you could provide. let's talk about a few of these fine line phrases, right? So it's like you are walking a fine line, all right? To quote unquote walk a fine line means you are very nearly doing the wrong thing, but not quite yet. All right. Hey, Gita. Yeah, I think. Give me a second. I know you guys have some other questions. I'm just trying to cover this fine line a little bit first, right? So like walking a fine line. So this quote unquote fine line that it's referring to is usually the line that separates good from bad or right from wrong. Right? So if you're walking a fine line, that means that you're very nearly doing the wrong thing, or you're almost doing something bad. All right. There's also the fine line between, right? Very common phrase, fine line between, right? There is a fine line between protecting a child's innocence and simply lying to them, right? It's like, if a child asks you, "Hey, is there really a Santa Claus?" It's like, well, I want you to believe in Santa Claus because it's going to make you happy. And it's cute. All right, but is there really a Santa Claus, right? There's a fine line here. If I tell them yes, and later on they will learn that there's not, now they can't trust me, right? I betrayed their trust. If I tell them no, well, then I'm going to hurt their feelings. All right, so what do? There's a fine line between protecting that child's innocence and allowing them to believe in something magical for fun and lying to them. There's a fine line there. How would I handle that situation? I would answer their question with a question. All right, it's like, is there really a Santa Claus? Well, why are you asking me that? Don't you believe that there's a Santa Claus? Right? I've been there before, right? I've had a lot of kids ask me that. "Oh, teacher, do you think there's Santa Claus?" Like, well, what do you think? Do you think there's a Santa Claus? Yes? Oh, why? No? Why not? All right. I think engaging with questions is a lot easier. So this fine line, there's a fine line between A and B, or you could walk a fine line. So that's usually what we're talking about in the fine line, is some kind of minor difference or subtle difference between good and bad, right and wrong. All right. Blah, 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 blah. Out of the woods, out of the blue, what's the difference? Interesting. Very good. That's a good question. Okay, now let me scroll down and just see if any sorry, if anyone's already answered that. I have read somewhere that there is a difference between heard of and heard about, but I couldn't understand properly. I don't really think that there's a big difference, but let's check really quick, right? Okay, let's just check. I'll just Google it. Heard of versus heard about. So check this out. Here's how it's defined online, right? Hear of is used to discuss one's awareness of the existence of something or someone. Heard about is used to discuss one's awareness and knowledge of a particular news event or incident, or the existence of information about someone or something, right? So, I mean, they don't sound very different to me, right? That doesn't sound very different, right? If you could give me an example, like maybe show me the source that you're talking about that said that there was a difference, all right? But I don't know. I don't use them differently at all. But maybe in like British English, maybe they do in British English, maybe it's a little different for them. All right, so they do things a little differently over there. Now, Panchal, he says, out of the woods means to be out of danger. Very nice. Very good. You're correct. Out of the woods versus out of the blue. All right, so let's look at this. Let's type this down. Blah, 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 size 24 font. Out of the woods versus out of the blue. All right. Out of the woods, this is usually used as an adjective phrase. Out of the blue is adverbial, typically. All right. So, typically, hi there, Isra. Thanks for coming. I have watched an Instagram reel about those phrasal verbs and got confused. Out of the woods versus out of the blue. All right. Yeah, I think that a lot of my some of my earlier reels were more confusing than educational. That's why I started doing them in 2 parts and then in 3 parts, because with some idiomatic language especially, you really need to have more examples and more than 90 seconds to explain it fully. Right? Instagram only gives you 90 seconds maximum. So I'm not surprised by that. So out of the woods is typically an adjective phrase, right? And it's to describe being out of trouble of some kind, right? Describing being out of trouble or out of danger of some kind. All right. Out of the blue is an adverbial phrase meaning describing something kind of random or unexpected, right? So something that happens, describing something that happened as kind of random or unexpected. All right, so no, not your reel. A reel about heard of and heard about. Someone made a reel about the difference from heard of and heard about. That's so weird because I don't. Maybe I'm just overlooking something, or it's just not connecting in my head. But for me, there just doesn't seem to be enough difference to make a reel about the difference. If you can find that, or maybe if you saved it, Prince, I'd really love it if you sent it over to me. Like, send me the link. I'd love to see what are they talking about. All right, what the difference? I don't know. For me, whenever I'm making reels, I try to make some content that's got at least some minor entertainment potential, but B, I want it to have a high education, value. So like big differences or big things, right? These kind of like minor minutia. I wouldn't even bother making a reel about it. I mean, maybe, but I don't know. Heard of versus heard about, that seems to be more of a carousel to me. Anyway, that's just my opinion. I mean, who am I on? I'm not a social media expert or anything. Let's keep going. Let's talk more about out of the woods versus out of the blue. I want to give some examples here. All right, so your husband was having a difficult time with his flu symptoms, but he is out of the woods now, right? So, i.e., he's healthier and no longer in danger, right? Or I was afraid that I was going to get laid off, but I'm out of the woods now, right? I'm no longer scared of being laid off for now. All right? So these are, again, if we want to see these examples, you can always just watch on YouTube. I don't think we've got anybody watching on YouTube today. It's like, so here's some of my out of the woods examples. Right? Your husband was having a difficult time with his flu symptoms, but he's out of the woods now. He's healthier, no longer in danger. I was afraid that I was going to get laid off, but I'm out of the woods now. And you'll see, because it's an adjective phrase, we do need to introduce it with our auxiliary is, am, are, or be, right? He is out of the woods. I am out of the woods. Okay? Now, let's talk about some examples for out of the blue. Right, now, this is an adverbial, right? So something has to happen out of the blue, right? So this is modifying a verb, right? I was feeling fine on Tuesday, on Monday, but then my flu symptoms came up out of the blue on Tuesday, and they were really bad on Wednesday. Right? Or I was hanging out with my friend, and he invited me to go to Dallas. He invited me out of the blue to go to Dallas, right? I'm just going to change the structure of that sentence. I'll check it on YouTube once the live is ended. Well, I mean, yeah, you can. Yeah, if you want. You know, whatever. Yeah, it doesn't... we've got one person watching on YouTube today. I don't know. I don't know why people don't watch it on YouTube. I feel like it's a lot better quality. You can see what I'm writing and, you know, all that good stuff. But, I don't know. I like to fantasize that someday in the future I'll be able to stream on the computer on Instagram. All right, that's my fantasy. Let me turn off this camera really quick so that my my guest doesn't get exposed to the internet. Sorry. All right, now we're back. Hey, is that Julia? That's Julia. Hey, Julia, thanks for coming in. I don't think I've seen you in the live before. Yeah, you and your hubby should come in. Yeah, join the call. Let's see the baby. Yeah, I saw some pictures. Well, that was months ago. I bet she's like twice the size now. Last week I watched your whole live on YouTube itself. It's all right. Well, okay. Well, thanks. Maybe next time tell me it's like really good, or tell me puff up my my ego a little bit. Trust me, I need it. So, talking a little bit more about out of the blue, right? Here, let's look at my examples again. Beep. Right, I was feeling fine on Monday, but then my flu symptoms came up out of the blue, right? So here's my verb is came up out of the blue on Tuesday, and they were really bad. I was hanging out with my friend, and he invited me, here's my verb, invited, out of the blue, to go to Dallas, right? So that's an unexpected, right? Some kind of unexpected invitation. There we go. Yeah, it's amazing on YouTube. Yeah, that's what I need, right? Trust me, I need a little bit of encouragement. I am very, very often about this close to like not doing any social media stuff anymore. YouTube, social media, Instagram, TikTok, you name it, right? I'm just about any time on any day I'm about this close to just giving up on this stuff. Right? It's like maybe I shouldn't admit that, right? Oh, too honest. Oh, don't be too honest. No, it's, I just, it's a lot of work. It's tough. It's tough. And then here you are, like, live streaming. No one's watching or at least not on YouTube. A few people watched on here. I always appreciate that. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it when people actually watch and participate. It makes things so much easier. Okay. Anyway, that's 12:30. Now, I didn't see anybody try any sentences with out of the woods versus out of the blue. But I really would. I'd really like to see that. So if you want, you can always just submit it as a comment. Okay, so, but we're done. We're done streaming for today. So I'll see everybody again, same time next week. All right, it's a couple days before Christmas next week, but we're still gonna do our stream. So no problem there. James, try to go live on EWA English or some other promotional page to get more people on your live streams. Yeah, I was talking to EWA English about that. I don't remember. They told me something about like their policy that sounded kind of like weird to me, but yeah, I could talk to them about it some more. I just haven't really been doing any collaborations with them lately. Everything that you want to do with EWA English, it's like you just gotta schedule it like 2 months in advance because they're so busy. So yeah, I could try that out though. Yeah, I gotta get back into contact with them. That's a good idea, Prince. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. As usual, thank you very much. And if you need help with your English, you need needhelpenglish.com. Education, training, success. We'll see you next time. And we got